Hello and welcome, my name is Chris from christopherhole.com. In this video we're going to be talking about how to build a strong, healthy back. And we're going to be talking about something other than exercise, massage, physiotherapy, chiropractic, osteopathy, whatever it may be. And a big part of what I do is teaching. So even if I'm training someone, exercise, I'm still teaching them because, as it says on the screen here, education is step number one. And you can look back to the Chinese proverb, and I've adapted this one. But if you give a man a workout, he exercises for an hour. If you teach a man to move, he's active for a lifetime. So wherever you are in life, wherever you are in your low back pain, education is step number one. Because what happens when you start learning about low back pain, when you start learning about the body, about how the body moves, and about how to use exercise best to improve your body and your back, it gives you an understanding and reasons to do so. Because no one will tend to do anything unless they have a good enough reason to do so. And what most people do is they leave that up to the trainer. So what you're doing is you're putting your faith and your trust in that trainer to know, or to hope that they know what they're doing. And for the most part, because they are the professionals, because they've done the qualification, people assume that they do have that knowledge, that they do have that expertise. But one thing I've found to be quite true is that a lot of trainers don't have that. And again, that's maybe not the most professional thing for me to say as a trainer myself, but from my own observations, from my own understanding of learning, when I watch trainers and when I teach them, it's not always the truth. Okay, so that's the number one. Education is step number one. You guys learning about your body, learning about your low back pain, and learning about how exercise will improve that. Because as you start finding out the information, you'll start to understand what to do and why to do it. So in a sense, your low back pain exercise program will start to write itself the more you sort of gain understanding around it, and you won't have to think of all these weird and wonderful exercises that people come up with to do, because they'll be laid out in front of you because your body will be telling you to do it. So education is step number one. Now, saying that, do use a trainer. If you're using one, keep using them. I don't want to sort of say stop using trainers and never use trainers, because there are good trainers out there. But if we can understand how the body works, then we can start to move it and use it better, and use it for a lifetime. Because when people go into the gym, it is very much no pain, no gain. Let's hit the gym hard, which is giving a man a workout and you're only exercising for an hour. But what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to move so we're active for a lifetime. And in other videos I explain that in a little bit more depth. But the main thing from this video is all about education. So what we're going to do next is we're now going to just look at a little bit more about education and how we can build that strong back. You heard me say in the last slide that if we teach a man to move, he's active for a lifetime. And this in part goes some way to explaining that and building that strong, healthy back that we potentially want. So in a week, life is 168 hours. So that's how long we've got. We roughly spend 40 of that at work, some more, some less. If we sleep 8 hours a day or 8 hours a night, then 40 hours of that is when we're asleep. So we've got half of our life either working or asleep, or roughly half of our week working or asleep. Exercise potentially only equates to 3 hours of that. So if you visit the gym 3 hours a week, it only equates 3 times a week. It only equates to 3 hours a week. Now, if we look at work being 40 hours a week, obviously that's 37 hours more. So if we are going to the gym and we are potentially using good postures and good movement, but then we go to work and sit all day in a bad posture with no movement, which one's our body, or which one's going to override which one? It's going to be the 40 hours a week, isn't it? Sat down at the desk, in the bad posture, not moving, that's going to override potentially everything that we do with our exercise. So one thing we have to do is we have to look at our life and think, well, how can we become more active, and how can we start doing things better? How can we start using our posture better? Because you've probably heard from me before that low back pain is the misuse of the human body. And sitting all day is a part of that misuse. It's not the only thing, but it's a part of it. Exercise is our opportunity to start using our body properly. But again, a lot of trainers and a lot of people go to gyms and don't use their body properly. So the first thing to do is understand how the body works properly. What we can then do is we can then start applying that to our life. So walking, running, standing, carrying things around, lifting things from the floor, sitting, lying. So many different activities that have the potential to improve the quality of your back and improve the quality of health of your back. So number one, we have to start looking at not just we have to go to the gym to improve the health of our back, but we have to start looking at how you're sitting, how you're walking, how you're running, how you're carrying things, how you're lifting things. Because if we can start improving that whilst we're at work or just in life in general, going to the shops, carrying our shopping bags home, whatever it may be, that's going to also contribute to what our exercise, or we want our exercise to do, and improve the health of our back that way. So just educating yourself on how to carry things properly. How does the core hold my body up properly? How do I need to use my arms when I'm lifting? How do I need to use my legs when I'm lifting? What position does my back need to be in? Because this is a common question that I ask people is, can I have a show of hands, everyone who knows how to walk? And everyone sort of goes, well, yeah, everyone knows how to walk. You learn when you're 3 years old and, you walk. But then what I do is ask them all to put their hands down. And then I say, can I have a show of hands? Who knows how to walk properly? And then they all look at themselves a little bit confused and go, I'm not sure. And it's the same with lifting. Who knows if at my evening seminar I was to say, okay, there's a box on the floor. Who could pick that box up off the floor and stand up and then walk it to the other side of the room? Again, most people will go, yeah, I can do that, no problem. But then I'll ask them again, okay, who can now lift that correctly, putting your hip and shoulder in a nice stable position and your back in its most stable position, lift that from the floor and then walk correctly to the other side of the room, bend down and put it down back on the floor. Again, they'll all look at themselves going, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what all that means. So until you know what that means, you have no reason to do it. So until you know what correct lifting is, you'll never do it. Until you know the benefits of correct lifting and the drawbacks of incorrect lifting, again, you'll never know. You'll never change and you'll never lift correctly because, again, you have no reason to. So when it comes to building a strong, healthy back, the first thing that we need to look at is education. Education, education. Learning about exercise, learning about the body, and learning about movement of that body and using it correctly. So when it comes to building a strong, healthy back, get your head into books. Get onto the website, christopherhole.com. There are loads of videos on there, loads of educational videos. Come to an evening seminar whatever you need to do to start learning, because this is the only way that you're going to be able to self-manage your low back pain. If you don't necessarily do that, then you'll never really be managing it, and you'll be leaving it to someone who may not know how to manage it for you. Okay, so education is always the first step because it gives you that reason to make that change. Okay, so many thanks for watching, many thanks for listening. My name's Chris from christopherhull.com. I will speak to you in a future video.